Hey guys, we're here with you. It's Chris Hamilton and Joseph Rocha.
Hi!
Yeah.
How are you?
This is
Two of our mainstays are not here today, Christina Belich and AJ Raj. Is that his name? AJ Raj?
something like that.
We love this guy,
don't
and
wanna
we
be
still
racist.
haven't figured out how to figure out his name.
But we know it's a J. It's a J.
Yeah,
it's
a
like
J.
a J, like not AJ, but like
Oh, okay.
Like, oh,
A J.
what's that? Who
A
stabbed
J.
you? A J
A
stabbed me.
A J. See, now I'm gonna
A
get
J.
all Asperger's over here about it. Yeah, we're here on a very cold Saturday afternoon at the Grizzly Pear in New York City. New York City! And we're gonna do a podcast, him and I. Chris, I mean.
Yes.
And you know Chris from his own podcast called
Wait,
Straight
before,
Trippin'.
if you're wondering, we're at a construction site. We're at a construction site now. We switched locations.
Because here's the rule in New York City. If you're doing something, then everything else has to happen to interrupt. I mean, if we were just meditating, fucking planes would be flying and sirens going on. Yeah, into you. Exactly. Because it's just the law. Like, why? How dare you think you could have a moment of privacy to yourself? Fuck you. You're crazy. That kind of thinking. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
I don't believe that for a second.
Nah, well, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it because I think...
Start now. What are we waiting for?
There's definitely a topic that we have to discuss.
Go.
Yes, I got to introduce it. I got to lube it up before I fuck it.
Lube.
All right. Yeah. All right, so...
Hey, you don't want to raw dog this one?
You don't... No, never raw dog.
Right,
you got to take your
right.
time with this. All right. So I came in here. You was talking about how the way you were feeling down.
Yeah.
You were feeling down. Christy said she can't be here because she's feeling down.
I'm not feeling down. I was a little. The cold got to me, and then I was annoyed that no one was here on time, and I came late, by the way. So that's the thing. It's like we were.
Oh shit!
Yeah, I was here.
Okay,
at
we usually get here at 3:30. You
Yeah.
got here at
3:45.
3:45.
And I was still here for it.
Yeah. Well, you're going against a black guy. Like, of course you're gonna beat me.
No, I mean, I don't
that's
even
a
know
hacky
that.
black
I mean,
joke,
that
I'm
is
sorry.
an element. CPT. That's your rap for it. CPT.
CPT.
No, I understand. It was more. We had a person canceled today because of their issues, and then I didn't know if anyone else was going to be here, so it was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I brought up my own shit, but ultimately I'm going to let it go. But yeah, I'm cold. I'm annoyed. My own personal thing. And I saw some pictures of myself on Fatbook. So funny because that's exactly what it's about. I realized how much weight I gained. I called it Fatbook. That's hilarious.
Oh my god, that should be a website. That's your fat book. Just taking pictures of fat people, just not like that.
Fatbook. Where can we get people? Can we find people?
Yes, you have to look for them. You have to look for
Yeah,
them.
you
Just
really have to
post them up.
scour. Yeah.
What is that? There's like a website called Walmart Creeps or something like that.
Oh,
where-
I think I've seen pictures from that.
yeah, people just on Walmart. You just take a picture of them and put it on this
Just
website.
shit, they're fat hanging out and like wearing like. There's
being
one
fat.
thing to be like a fat person who's bending over and you just get caught in the fat, but the people are wearing like halter tops and shorts.
They act like they're skinny
the
still.
fuck?
They don't have a mirror. They don't see
Or worse, they think I don't give a fuck.
which is way worse. You're right.
Yeah,
That's way
exactly.
worse.
It's like
That's
there's a thing out there called fat serenity, which I think is basically you accept that you're fat and you're proud of it. And I guess that's good if you really feel that. I don't feel that way. I like denial, my friend. I like denial. Like, I've been fat my whole life, and yet, I never given up the fight. And I have been thinner. It's more about health, and it's more about how you feel. I mean, like being fat and putting on fat is a reflection of how you feel about yourself.
What's a better lifestyle for you then? Being skinny and being fat.
Being in shape.
Being in shape.
I don't know if I'll ever be thin. I don't know. I've never been thin the entire time. I mean, I've been smaller and in shape, but it's just not having mobility problems. Not having. I would like to get rid of my sleep apnea because that creates snoring and things like that. But so I saw some pictures on Facebook with my sister and somebody at a bar that I was at. I was like, oh shit! It cut through my denial. Fucking lightsaber through it. Yeah, admit it now. You put on weight again, So that made me cranky. Although I'm in a better frame of mind to accept and go like, well, what are you gonna do? Kick your ass? No, you just go, oh, well, let's get back to the things that work and make me feel in shape and make me look better,
Yeah.
Also, it's the first pictures I've seen without my goatee, and that's always like,
yeah.
But that's where I was coming from in terms of crankiness and annoyance.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw this morning. So, what was up with you?
Well, first off, I don't think you should. I don't know. I mean, I think it's weird. I don't think you should worry about it. Like being bigger, being skinnier.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got something in my mouth. But like, we're all gonna die. Like that's what I've come down to that. I've started to real like this, and this is the thing I've been going through. I'm gonna be black my whole life. Like at some point you could change from
Unless
being
you Michael
big.
Jackson it.
No, I'll still be black. I'll just be a weird black guy who's light skinned and fucks kids sometimes.
Yeah.
He doesn't look at me as
Hey, that's the former black guy.
yeah, it's a former black guy. Like he's still
exactly.
black. He's
That's
just like,
funny.
but like you can change that. You can change your appearance.
Yeah.
At no point could I ever change being black.
Right.
And then I've realized this, and I've come to the conclusion that all I'm gonna do after being black is die. Like that's gonna be it for me. Like
So basically, you're saying there's two things you have to do: be black and then die.
and die. Yeah, Morgan
on your
Freeman,
to-do
famous for
list.
saying that. Yes. And I can't. I hate that. I hate that. No matter how hard I work, no matter how far I get in life,
I know what you mean.
at the end of the day, still gonna be a black guy.
You could be a cutting edge, like pioneer comedian,
Yeah, what
and yet you always go like black
Yeah.
comedian or African American
Yeah.
comedian or colored comedian, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's odd. And it's a weird thing because no one ever says, "Oh, white comedian Bill Burr."
Yeah, never. They don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't need to. It's not needed. Even though probably not that many people know Bill Burr. As funny and as famous as he is, not that many people know him. But like, when you're black or Hispanic or whatever, you have to be identified
Black
as a
actor,
race.
black
Yeah,
activist,
which is
black
fucking
politician.
horrible. Yeah.
Well, why is it horrible? Actually, I wonder.
Well, and this is the thing. This is my thing, and this is the problem that I always had. I went on a date recently, and I've been hanging
black
out with
woman, white woman.
Hispanic. She's Hispanic. Well, mixed. She's mixed. Cultured black, but mixed. She's
You say cultured black?
yeah, as in she's been raised around black people.
Okay.
You know, urban thug. What is she really? She's what are those little statues? Those little statue things that we all know?
Marionettes? What do you?
No, those famous big faces that are in the
Easter Island.
yes. What are those
Yeah.
called?
Easter Island? No, you're talking about those big head statues
Yes.
in Easter Island, yeah.
Yes,
I don't know
whatever
what they're
those
called.
things are called. That's what she is. She's that. Okay.
The fuck is that mean? You're not
She has
making
a
this
big
girl
face. She's just there. I don't know.
attractive,
Yeah, she's very attractive. Yeah.
but she got a big head.
No. I'm just saying that she's one of those people. Anyway.
No, you're not walking away from that. What do you mean by that? You're referring to those
has
big
the-
head statues on Easter Island.
Yes, whatever
And you're
those-
saying this girl is that. How do you mean that?
Whatever those things are called, those are type of people, and she's those type of people. That means her race looks ambiguous. She has blonde hair, but like has olive skin, but couldn't have blue eyes, or people in her family can have blue eyes. I've seen her
You are not going to get laid based on this podcast with this girl.
Don't. Yeah, I know. That's why I tried to cut it short. I
No,
say
I'm
myself.
gonna let you
You're gonna let
stew
me
with
bomb.
this.
You're gonna let me bomb in this and marinate in bombing. I can't look. There's construction happening. It's very hard to think. God damn it. She's not Indonesian, but whatever those people-
Polynesian?
No, we'll stick
Big-headed.
big-headed people. Big-headed people.
Big-headed girl.
Let's call her that for now.
And you like big-headed girls.
I like big-headed girls.
I like me a big-headed girl.
big-headed girl. That's a song. But yeah, we were sitting.
I like big heads and I cannot lie.
Yeah.
I like it.
So we were on a date and we're like eating pizza and she mentions to me that she has to go to a therapist because she suffers from depression.
Okay.
And naturally, my side, and this is how I've always been this way. When you say you're depressed, I think fuck you. Like I think that.
Fair enough.
And I don't. And literally, she was like, "Wait, let me explain to you." And she got mad, and I was like, "That's just you being depressed. Don't worry about it." But then she later on expressed to me like,
You were not helpful
at all. But
You
then-
made a big-headed woman feel worse about herself.
about herself, yeah.
She's a big-headed woman with depression, and you put fuel on the fire.
Yes, of course. It did.
No good.
But the thing
Not
was,
a good person.
we had the conversation, and she told me why she was mad. She said it wasn't because I was insensitive, and she meant more of a chemical balance. Her brain just
Yeah.
and in my head, I think when you're depressed, you're like suicidal, sad, don't realize what's going on.
Which
You're like,
can be an element of it.
yes,
of
it can
course.
be an element, but it's not the major thing.
But
So
you have
I
no
was
pity
being
for the situation, at least in the moment.
Yeah.
You have no pity for people like that.
Yes, and this is my reasoning and my justification that I'm a black man in America.
Right.
The fuck you like mad about? Like you can't like when you literally see on TV that your people are being murdered, like without any remorse or anything. That it's one of the, like fuck you. You can't. Don't be depressed when I see how bad it is and I see what's happening to us. You shouldn't even think about it. But then because I realized the chemical part of it, that's like all right. Well now I understand it. I think when white kids like, I cut myself because I'm, fuck you. Like, you don't understand what
right.
sadness is or what depression is. But I'm just now realizing that side of it. And when I was talking to Christy, like I didn't even know what to say to her. She was like, I'm just feeling depressed. I just don't want to be outside.
Yeah.
And I was like, get well soon. Like, I didn't know what to say to her. But I'm starting to realize that there is a side that's not what I'm picturing as depression. But yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it just shows you how little we really know about what depression is.
Yeah.
Or that many of us will say,
Bermuda.
What happened?
Sorry. Bermuda.
Man, I was trying to break it
I know,
down.
I'm sorry, but I just got it. Bermuda.
I was in the middle of an awesome breakdown.
I know.
And you totally... I'll get back to it.
I know, sorry. God, I feel bad.
It does show how little we understand or even know about what depression is.
Yes.
And also how we often misuse depression to describe what we're feeling. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's winter right now. Like, it's natural to feel, the inclination to stay in.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. It's freezing here in New York. Anyway, the whole country. And you go, I'm depressed. Maybe you just want to hibernate. Maybe you just want to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe you're just tired. I mean, we put in a 40-hour week of work, and I give it up to comics who get themselves out there.
Yeah.
To do things like a podcast, to do stand-up in this brutal weather, because that's really hard, because you're probably not going to get paid off the way you can when
You want to be, yeah.
sets during other times of the year. So depression, is it clinical, or is it just that's how your mood is? And both are valid. You know? And when you say something like, "Well, how could you be depressed when I'm a black man trying to live in America?" No, I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's also like too much to expect from people. I mean, I want one of those, by the way.
Well, yes, you can have one.
Yeah,
It's a
thank
mint.
you.
I'm giving him a mint.
Give me a lifesaver. What if I just said acid tabs?
This will be a whole different
Mushrooms.
podcast.
Just shoot up my vein with that sweet heroin.
Sweet heroin.
Chris Hamilton. Where was I trying to say? Now I interrupted my own stuff.
Yeah. Wait, let me just make sure this is still going. All right, it is.
I was in therapy many years ago with a guy who saved my ass and helped me get into comedy, really.
Yeah.
And I would say to him, my parents didn't give me enough, or they were mean, they were hitters, blah blah blah. And I said, but I understand my life is not as bad as someone who got molested or raped by somebody. He goes, no, you can't do that. You can't compare your pain to somebody else's pain to invalidate what you're feeling. Like, if your worst thing was you were molested and God knows what kind of horrible violence and sexual activity was done to you, and then the next person, the worst thing that ever happened to them was their bicycle was stolen, and that's caused them. They're both equal, really, in terms of the individual.
See, okay, wait a minute. Now,
Not because if you look at it from an outside thing, you go, that's what that person has to deal with.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's what the person has to deal with. But the reason why I can't give you that, only reason, is because some people are really fucking selfish, and that's what they'll do. They'll do that. If I go, I just fucking got harassed by a cop, they go, well, I lost my dog today. Like, fuck you, bitch. It's not worse. I got harassed. I almost got killed. I could have died. Don't you compare the two. Now, I get what you're saying, because, I shouldn't compare my struggles to that person's struggles. But I should. That person should be able to compare their struggles to my struggles.
We're going to.
Yeah, of course
we're going
we will.
because that's how we're geared.
Yeah.
But in terms of solving what you want to solve,
solving it.
You got to own what your problem is.
Yeah.
You're gonna go insane if you keep comparing it to what's going on out there. Like, what's that gonna do? If the worst thing is your bicycle was stolen, that caused you a lot of stress. Why do you want to look at the person who's been molested and go like, oh, I suck? You should be able to go, thank God that's my problem, or be grateful that's what you're dealing with, as opposed to someone who is.
I'll let you know this too. I would much rather be molested than be black.
In the fuck?
All right.
I'd rather be molested than I'm black. I'm not going to let you get away with saying that and not explaining what
No,
it means.
if I was a white woman, one particular, just getting molested, rather than a black man, that'd be a much comfortable life. It'd be a much better life. In the sense that I wouldn't have to worry about having offsprings being molested. They won't be molested. I would protect them. But being black, if I have a black kid, I have to be a mother hen now and protect him his whole life. Teach him about how cops might fucking shoot him one day, or how he can't walk into certain neighborhoods because he's going to be thought of as being a fuck. Being molested is a one-time thing, hopefully. If you get molested several times.
I don't think it works that way.
I know.
I don't think it's generally, maybe rape is a one-time thing.
Yes,
but not being molested. If you're being
yeah.
molested, there's probably a pattern there,
Well, like for that person, or the person that's doing it, the criminal.
Maybe,
you see what I'm saying?
I don't know enough about the whole thing, but I think, first of all...
No, look, I get it. I want you to know, I get how that sounds weird, but...
I know what you mean that being black has a certain amount of stress and struggle.
Yes.
But it's not a curse, man.
No, and this is my thing. I don't think of it as a curse, but the older I get, the more I do see it as one. Because everything I've been going through, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of gotta have to go through it. I can't do anything else, you know what I mean? And then I get older, and if I choose to have kids, that's when it becomes a curse. Because now I'm like, oh, I knew it, and I can tell him it, but I'm not gonna live his life. So if my kid is like, oh, I'm hanging out with white guys, and we're all robbing and doing shit or whatever, they're gonna get the penalty less than whatever he gets. And that's when it becomes a curse. Because now I have to be always worried about what's happening. I assume someone who gets molested or raped, and this is going I fucking get how edgy this is, but like, they can be like, I gotta make sure I don't get that happening to me again. I have to find ways to prevent that. And if it's you, yes, you can. If you have kids, you can go, I'm gonna make sure that person never sees this person that molested me or whatever. You can avoid that. Even on the news, they'll go, oh, this woman got molested. And there'll be this blanket of, they shouldn't do this, it's bad. Rapist is bad. There's rape culture. There's no kill black people culture. Like, there's nothing like that. But it happens. It happens so often that we have black people talking about it, but I literally started to realize that there's only like 12% of black people in America.
Yeah, right.
So when we say like lives matter, in my head, from what I'm seeing, it doesn't. Like, nobody has proven that Black Lives Matter. If I was to offer you a job...
Black people have proven that.
No, and that's the thing. Even then, like, Martin Luther King Day is coming up, and I'm like, fuck you. I did research on it, and like, literally, it took like 10 years to actually make it a national holiday. It became a national holiday.
Someone had a great joke about how, I think Arizona was the one that took the longest to ratify a Martin Luther King Day. Like, it's a day off. You're that racist that you don't even want to take a day off?
Yes.
Like, what's wrong with you? You don't have to like the guy, just take the day off. No.
And I'll tell you this, you know what they have done in southern states, like Arizona, Mississippi, Florida, Texas, in response
Albany?
No, maybe not Albany. In response to Martin Luther King Day, they've created Robert E. Lee Day. What the fuck? And you know how fast that took for them to be like, yep, let's do this? Not that long. It didn't take them that long at all. It was like, oh, we're making that shit? Let's do this one. That's what happened. That's what I go through. That's what I think about every fucking day. So yeah, we have Martin Luther King Day, but someone, and thousands of people obviously agreed to it, was like, let's have Robert E. Lee Day right there. I can't. But yeah.
Yeah, that's shitty. That's really shitty, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's the way life is. Sometimes just some meatheads who have power will go, fuck it, I will do what I want. And I don't give a fuck if you like that guy. I'm gonna like my guy.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's
but that's not. That doesn't mean you should feel like black is a curse or that people are always gonna hate black people. No, not at all, man.
I can think of one culture that doesn't symbolize, well, Western, obviously. Eastern fucking loves us. Western culture, philosophy, where they go, being black is great. Nothing. Not Dominican Republic, not Haiti, not Jamaica. Like, if you're dark skinned, you're thought of as bad. And that's another thing. And fuck it, no, talk. Because if I start talking,
you're coming from an American black perspective, where I don't know, like I'm trying to think of countries. You're saying Haitians are pretty proud of who they are, right?
No, now if you look, what is it? Haiti's connected to Dominican Republic,
right?
They fucking killed them. They like Dominicans, light skin.
Is that about race or is that about competition?
No, it's about skin. It's about if you look dark. And what's that? Sosa? Is it Sosa? The baseball player that has
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa, he like bleached his skin.
Right.
Is that him? Is that the right guy?
Yeah, that's him.
What the he know. Like that's how bad it's gotten. It's gotten that bad. To like, I'm gonna fucking just make myself light skinned.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, first of all, I want to go back to when we mentioned Michael Jackson having done that.
Yeah.
Do you think he bleached his dick?
No, I don't think. No, he kept that dick.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he did.
That dick. But I did research on that too, and I found out he might have actually had vitiligo. He might have had vitiligo.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Yeah, there's pictures.
Yeah, but he exacerbated by he did have his skin bleached.
Oh no, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so whatever he had.
Have you seen a person with vitiligo? They look like cows. They look like human cows.
Wow! Wow! I mean, I cannot diss like you're just being outspoken about that. But from my perspective, my California sort of liberal, hey, now that's me. I mean, okay, I'll tell you why. It's hard for me to sort of like be that harshly spoken about things like vitiligo or people with deformities because I'm fat and I've been fucked with for being fat. Like literally guys just I'm gonna fuck your shit up because you're fat. You're like, what the fuck? I had a guy yell, "You waste of skin!" like when in my 20s, just randomly.
Wait, like walking down the street?
Yes, and you're just like, what the fuck just happened? You know, it just like that just came because somebody felt they had the right to say that, you know, and so it's hard for me to like be as outspoken about like people who you call ugly or people you go you know, I go, come on, man, you don't know what the fuck they're going through. Yeah. But that's filtered through my perspective.
Yeah.
Know? So it's like,
no, I get that.
I mean, where do you think your blackness gives you a certain empathy for other people? You know, do you think that the classic thing about how they talk about how many blacks don't like the civil rights struggle being compared to the gay struggle? Are you you understand it or you're against that?
I completely agree with that.
Okay, yeah.
Because
I mean, not
if we're in a crowd, if we're doing a show, there's a comedy show happening right now, and I'm on stage. I can look at the crowd and be like, "Oh, he's a black guy." I can't tell if you're a gay guy by looking at you. I have to like do some investigation. Then find out. And then when you go, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, okay, there's a gay guy." But other than that, I can't tell. So no, it's not the same struggle, mind you. I love the pride they have. The pride as in, if you're willing to say you're gay, I think that's fucking beautiful. If you're willing to say you're gay and and you're going against stuff, I fucking love that. I love you for doing that.
So let me back up. You're saying you don't equate the gay struggle with civil rights?
No.
Okay, all right.
Because
nowhere along the line. Nowhere
along the line. It's two different arguments. It's just like the struggles that we talk about. Hey, Sam Stevens, how you doing, man? Doing all right. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, yeah. The struggles being black is obviously there. Slavery, the class system, even down to the biblical words. You know what I mean? Things that have been said. But for a gay person or gay people, they haven't had those struggles. Even now, that it wasn't systematically formed. If a guy was to kill a gay guy in Texas, it's murder. It's not. Yeah, sure. But if certain time period,
sure.
Okay, you got where I'm coming from already. So
just to make it clear, you're saying that several black people could have been hung, murdered, but no one paid for it.
Yeah, no one paid for it. It's not like it's
fuck it. That's what happens. Yeah.
Yes, and one of the things that I really like, it was like how you said earlier when you were talking about depression. How the way if one thing is happening, you should look at another thing like, oh, well, don't compare the two. And I think that's the same thing. That should be the same thing with rights, because don't do your own thing. You live your life. I
don't agree with that, man. I mean, like I think everyone's struggle for their right to be free should inform everybody else's. You know what I mean? Like, and you should support. Like, I guess I never really thought about. I guess I have thought about when they do compare the gay struggle for rights with the civil rights. That yes, there are very important differences.
Yeah.
At the same time, it is a struggle to be acknowledged, to be treated with respect, to not be fucked with. Yes. You know, I mean, like, gay people have had the same kind of issues. We're killing a gay person. With why was he gay?
Not systematically, though.
And no, but just as violent and just as wrong, you know? Like, you can keep doing that. Like, one has more intensity or much more of a history, but why? At one point, you have to go... Well, don't you think like black people should support anyone who wants to be acknowledged?
I'm not saying don't support them. Everybody should have freedom. I think we all. But then at the same time, I also think freedom is fucking delusional. But if I was talking about the original thing that we're talking about,
have you talked to black gay people at all about this?
Yeah.
And they see it that way too.
No, they see it as in like they're struggling. They have a struggle. They realize they have more struggles because they're black and gay, which is worse. Which is so dope. if you're a white gay guy, you don't have much to struggle. Like, if you're Hispanic and gay, there's struggles there. If you're black and gay, Indian and gay, especially if you're fucking Indian and gay, you fucking get stoned to death somewhere.
Yeah, well, no, black and gay culture is very much against homosexuality. I don't know if I should say that.
Yes,
as
I
much
do
as
agree
it
with
used
that.
To be,
No,
but
yeah,
we're not very open.
Yeah. No, I had a conversation with a friend.
At least black people have the DL culture, which they'll
Which I
acknowledge.
find weird.
I don't think they really acknowledge it in Latino culture, you know?
Yeah, they shouldn't. That's a dumb culture. The DL? Doing the DL? Come on, son.
No, I just mean, though, that at least they're willing to talk about that it's happening. Yeah, you shouldn't ostracize them, but at least they're willing to go, there is this DL culture.
Yeah.
I don't think you even acknowledge that in Latino culture. Asian culture, you just don't acknowledge homosexuality at all. You know, so there's just, you know, it's just wrong to do it.
So what I'm trying to say is, there are levels to struggles, and there's obviously more people struggling than certain other people. And I feel like as soon as your skin is a little bit fair, is that they call it, you kind of have it. As long as you can hide shit. If you want to hide shit, you can hide shit. And I'm not saying go ahead and hide shit. I don't agree with that. But I think if if you have the possibility of hiding something, then your struggle is not as tough as other people. And the only reason why I compare those two is because I think that's what we do. I think people who are oppressed and struggle, we kind of do that. We kind of challenge each other. I know if I'm in a room with like a Jew, we kind of have that little, hey, who struggled more? Is it me or you? And if you're in Germany, they did. If you're in America, we fucking did. Like, you know. But then once in a while, a Native American walks by, like, we struggle the most. Like, yeah, you're right, and they disappear. So
I'll give you that one.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I would love to see a transgendered Native American gay guy. Like, I would love to see that. And be like, you struggled the most, my good sir.
But are you saying you want to see that in culture, or are you making a request via the podcast?
I'm making a request. If you're out there.
If you're a Native American transgendered...
Transgendered, gay guy? Gay guy, yeah.
Call Chris Hamilton at 223.
But you don't identify with being a guy. You identify with like being a lesbian or some shit, or a woman.
Right.
I would love that. But there are struggles. And I do, the one thing I loved was the Black Panthers.
Yeah.
They recruited LGBT communities, women, white women, black women, Asians, whoever, into this one community. It was called the Black Panthers, and they did their thing. Now, there was a radical side of that where they did a lot of crazy shit. But there was a side where they did. All the oppressed groups got together and joined together. I think now we're not. We're separating, and we're trying to say, who has it better? Who has it better? And me waking up, knowing that I don't look intimidating, I'm a friendly kind of guy. For someone to look at me and think I'm the enemy, I'm like, well, I can't even control that. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that comes down to the whole depression thing.
As I hear all this, I wonder if maybe what we need to emphasize about giving equal rights to everybody is live your life and I don't give a fuck. Like, do whatever you want and I don't give a fuck. You want to be gay? Absolutely go be gay, but I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
You want to be black? Enjoy your life. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You want to be an atheist? And fine, go for it. I don't give a fuck. Maybe that should be the name of the movement. I don't give a fuck. Just leave us alone. That's it, man. Like, fuck you and your judgments and what you believe. If you want to be a Klanman, okay, be a Klanman. But I don't give a fuck.
Oh, yeah.
And you shouldn't give a fuck. You know,
as long as you don't
stay
kill me,
with your pockets.
Yeah.
And just make sure that everyone gets treated legally equally. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to like me,
Now, see,
but I get the rights as a citizen who pays
Yes.
taxes to be treated legally equally across the board. And that also includes rich people. Hey, go be rich, but fuck you. I don't give a fuck. You got to pay your share, and you got to be treated like everyone else gets treated. You know, which is not the case.
Now, this is my thing I've been having a debate with a lot of my friends about. I think...
You ain't got no friend.
I don't. Thinking you're my only friend. That's why I came down here and I got here late. Just to sound like I had.
I like that.
But I feel that communism is better than democracy in America.
I can't agree with you, but I know what you're referring to. Absolutely. There's got to be a different way.
Yeah.
Socialism is maybe what I think. But go ahead.
No, that's pretty much it. Like, you treat everybody equal. If there's somebody that's like, yeah, everybody gets treated equal and everybody gets the same kind of penalty, then that'd be awesome. I would love that. I feel that, and this is why I've argued with my friends about Martin Luther King, and they'll go, look, he wanted freedom. I was like, he did, but he also wanted bad shit to happen too. Not as in like he wanted people to die, but freedom as in, if I robbed you, I'm treated like if a white guy robbed you, but I won't be treated the same way. And that's kind of freedom. That's what freedom should be. If I do a heinous crime, regardless, you should treat me as you would treat a white person.
Absolutely.
I feel like that was his speech, his idea of dreams and we're all getting together. Mind you, freedom is kind of fucked up. Like when you look outside and you see a homeless person,
absolutely.
that's freedom. That's being free. So I don't know where I was going with that, but that's how I see it. That's how I see it. And I think communism, if you're all like, oh, hey, you do something bad, we're chopping niggas' hands off, that's what's gonna happen. And if you knew that was gonna happen,
Wait, getting back up. So you're saying that communism is if you do something bad, you chop a nigga's head. Is that in the actual doctrine?
that is in China. The chopping
niggas'
niggas' hands off.
It's actually in the charter? Wow. Hip hoppy.
Chop niggas' hands off.
I don't know if I can honestly, like, at all, even remotely agree with communism, because I think, like, if you want to be rich and do that, so then go for it, do it. It's just, but you can't get extra. Like, meaning you can't take somebody else's rights, or you can't go, hey, well, I have money, so I get to pollute and take a shit in the river. Go, no. That's something we all need. Yeah. So you don't get any extra rights in terms of your responsibility.
But the rich can do that. And they have proven they've done it.
Absolutely. No, I'm not. In terms of, I'm talking about ideally. If a system worked, you go, yes, go make as much money as you want. But, you don't get any extra rights in terms of speech. You don't get any rights in terms of subverting the law. That's ideally how the law should work. We are humans. Money and pressure will always have more power.
Yeah.
But the more we solidify those laws, the more we can fight that kind of shit. Instead, what we've done is we've reversed a lot of laws, and we don't allow... We keep on taking away the power of the law, which is insane. You want to take a break?
No. I'll just make it show it's still recording.
Okay.
Comedy Village?
Oh yeah, there'll be a comedy. It'll start at 5:30.
5:30?
Yeah.
So I can't sign in there?
What's your name?
Oriola?
All right, I got it. I remember it.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys see it.
Number one?
You want to be number one?
No, maybe around 3.
Okay.
3 is the number. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a host?
Yes.
What's your name?
Chris Hamilton.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Okay, so you guys soon.
That was comedy interrupting our podcast.
Or a podcast.
By the way, he does run a show here at 5:30s on at the Grizzly
It's open mic.
Saturdays.
Don't think too much of it.
Yeah.
It's open mic.
So if you have a dream, this is not the place to do it.
Don't come here. just avoid this spot.
You are the worst promoter on the planet.
Well, yeah. I'm the worst. I don't know. But yeah, we talking about money.
I think it's like, again, I'd like to make a lot of money. I'd like to enjoy my life, but that doesn't mean I get to exploit people or take from people unfairly.
Yeah.
And also create products that create a lot of damage. Everything from chemicals that pollute rivers and the air to creating foods that are dangerous or disgusting that are going to kill people. But you're right, that is what's happening.
Yeah.
Well, as a society, as individuals, and as a populace, we have to fight back. We got to get our heads out of our fucking video games and out of our little lives and go, wait a second, that guy's polluting the water that I fucking drink, that my kids drink. And you can check out if you'd like, but then you're gonna have that life. You're gonna have kids who are getting sick.
The case.
Or you're gonna live in a city where fucking you can gun down an unarmed black man just cause you got a badge,
because you got a badge.
Yeah, if you don't want that, then wake up. If you don't care, admit it.
No, see, this is what we do in America, and I think this comes along with freedom, is that it's taken away from us, and it's done in a way that we kind of don't even notice it or see it. I've never learned anything about Hitler except the Holocaust.
Okay.
But if you listen to some of the stuff he said a lot of wise things. And I'm not saying kill Jews. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying...
I thought you had peaked with big-headed girl from the Easter Island. I thought you had peaked another one, but you are top, man. I like you. You bring interesting topics.
This is what I'm saying.
Let's make it clear. He said some wise things. I want to hear this.
This is one of the things he said, and that we'll never learn. And the same thing with Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King said something wise too that we never talk about. But
you are now equating MLK with Hitler.
Yes.
Awesome.
Same time period. Remember that. All right. Hitler. He said the beautiful thing about I'm going to say communism, but whatever he called his party, that's what he said, The beautiful thing about communism is that
He wasn't communist. He was socialist.
socialism, yes,
Yeah.
socialism is that other countries that fear you have to follow suit. That's what he said.
Sure.
And it's fucking true. China's, North Korea said, no, you can't put this movie out.
Right.
You put this movie out, we're gonna kill you. A lot of things were like, oh, we're not gonna put this movie out.
Sure.
That's communism.
No, that wasn't China that said that.
No,
That was
Korea. North Korea, yeah.
Right, okay.
And that's communism working. That's it working on a democratic democracy land. We're not supposed
Is
to.
it though?
Yes, because we're supposed to be like freedom and put it out anyway. But no, people were like, wait, hey, hold up. And that's what Hitler was saying when he said that. Hitler can be like, don't fucking do some shit I don't want you to do or I might kill you. And you have to go, okay. Or you can do it and he might do what he says. But then you're under his ruling. You're listening to what he says, even if you saying quote unquote freedom. That's what you're doing. And that's very similar to what Martin Luther King said, something similar, not similar to as in that sense, but one of the quotes that I've recently started reading was that he said, riots is the language of the unspoken.
Sure. Yeah.
But from what the books I've read, he's been peaceful. He's been a peaceful guy. But apparently he's not, like, he understands.
Martin Luther King has been defanged. They make him seem like this noble fucking guy.
Yes.
He was actually a shit disturber.
Yeah.
He was pissing people off. They always celebrate his like let's be equal speeches, but he had a lot of speeches that were talking about calling for economic equality and economic reform. Those get forgotten or never promoted.
Exactly.
And they were pretty radical. That's probably if we want to believe that he was killed for something, that's what he was really killed for. Was he was threatening power and going, the real enemy is not white and black. It's the economic forces that affect how our lives are led, and they never talk about his speeches where he was calling for bus strikes and stuff,
Yeah.
No, it's all like, hey, let's all be equal and hold hands.
But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So the freedom is I can learn that. I can learn it on my own. But if I'm not introduced to that, then I'm not really fucking free. That's not.
It is interesting. Yeah, no, I don't think most of us, and myself absolutely included, understand what freedom might mean.
Yes.
Do you really want freedom?
Yeah.
Because I think
hell no.
freedom can, I think, mean being able to stand by yourself alone and live your life. Is that how humans interact?
Well, not now. Yeah.
Well, at all, really. I mean,
Yeah.
and in fact, the guys who do become independent are like the Unabomber. He fucking lived independent of reality. Who else would? I'm not shitting on freedom, but I think freedom becomes this big, amorphous idea that I want to be free. Do you really?
No.
Do you really? Are you going to live off your own, efforts and separate from society? I don't want that.
No. It's not. It's freedom.
I think freedom means, on a simple level, being free of love. You know what I mean? Like, or at least go, I will be my only source of love.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, I want to be that ideally.
Yeah.
But sometimes I go, then I don't either.
Yeah.
I love my friends. I love my girlfriends throughout the years. So I want to be free to a certain point, but not like leave me out there free.
Yeah.
Free, people free. No, I don't.
I think the closest, and this is gonna sound weird, freedom to me.
Really
is,
weirder than what you've already said.
Yes.
I accept that challenge.
Freedom is like believing the ideals that Hitler had, but not acting upon it.
I really hope somebody isolates that. Freedom is believing the deals that Hitler had.
If you think that's what he was there. I assume there was nobody that he could say no. Nobody could say no to him. You know what I mean? He did what he.
You see, I think he actually same thing with Martin Luther King. Everyone wants to point to one figure, but those dudes were both, or those leaders, those dudes were part of a system. Those two were propelled by a system.
Yeah.
And they were figureheads to make you go, oh look, that's the guy in charge, and not pay attention to the system.
Yeah.
I mean, Hitler didn't come out of nowhere by himself. He had a whole system behind him.
No, not yet. If you want to get paper, you can start something up.
Okay, I'll get paper.
Yeah.
And remember, you already promised an earlier spot.
Oh no, I know. I got this. I got this, baby.
You got it? And nobody wants to look at it. It's a complicated thing. It's not one person rising to, power by themselves. They have an entire system behind it. Yeah, sure.
Serious.
Can you feel this? I'm sorry. I feel like no one's paying attention to the fact that we're talking and doing something. I'm sorry. I want to take a break.
Shit, he's pissed. He's pissed. He's angry.
Can you take that over there so people can? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Who's on that paper? Is there a,
Again.
I was here yesterday, and they didn't have a microphone.
There's a microphone. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, thank you.
We gotta learn how to maybe put on a sign or something that some people can.
Oh, no problem. Let me just check the time real quick. Just see how far we've been
What's
going.
that?
Okay, it's 40.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, whoa, it's only 4:36. Why? You guys are here early.
Yeah. I got to work right
No, I feel you. Right, I hope. Like, what if it just deleted everything?
All right, so let's
Pause it for a
review.
bit.
Already, Chris Hamilton was dating a woman whose head was like the Easter Island statues.
Tributa.
What?
Tributa triangle. The Rebuta triangle.
Bermuda.
Bermuda. That's what she's-
Tributa is your cousin.
Yeah.
Tributa
Yeah, how'd you know?
Hamilton.
How'd you know?
Tributa
You know Tributa? How you know
Man,
Tributa?
have you ever spoken English?
No. No.
Hitler had some ideas
Oh my
that
God.
Chris Hamilton supports, and that
Not the Jew killing part.
he equated Martin Luther King with Hitler.
Yes. Well, okay. The reason why I compare them so often is because they lived in the same time. Like they didn't. Like one wasn't
Not
just.
quite. I know what you mean. They're from a
Yeah, like
different
one was
era.
born at one time and the other one was born another. But they lived like Martin Luther King knew Hitler. Like he knew.
Well, not
of-
personally.
not
They didn't
personally.
hang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say my man.
It's good, son. I don't like what you're doing out there, B. What's really going on, son? Niggas chopping off hands over here. What y'all doing over there?
Listen, I don't like a Jew killing thing.
I like a Jew killing
but some
thing.
of your other ideas.
So like he was around during that time. You know what I mean? And
Well, what's your point in saying that?
my point is that America said, stop killing Jews. Jews are fuck you niggas. What are you doing over there? That's what they said. That's literally what America said. America was like, Jews don't kill Jews. But then, hey, what
Well, I
niggas?
need
What are you guys
to
doing?
Then no one in the government actually ever said that.
Hey,
Stop
but-
killing Jews. But the
They
niggas
never
used to
said that.
kill them. No,
They never
but,
said
but in
that.
terms of actions,
Actions, yes.
it was very hypocritical that they would
Very.
have the nerve to. I mean, we still do it. We have the nerve to criticize people for behaviors we do. all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
and it comes down to power and the fuel. The fuel, it fuels shit up. It just gets people angry to do things that probably doesn't make sense to us. Like, we never call any of the actions that we do terrorist acts.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
But
not.
they
You're right,
kind of
no.
are. They kind of.
Well, like you can get mad at these people who will kill 12 people at Charlie Hebdo and call it a terrorist act, but you'll never call using drones to kill people left and right in huge numbers
Yeah.
a terrorist act. You call that a police action. You call that
Yeah.
what we need to do
Yeah.
to protect our freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, to me, I try to write this joke about I don't know about Al Qaeda and Boko Haram as terrorism. You know who terrorizes me is my fucking landlord.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? When I don't have the rent, they're knocking on the door.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm terrorized. When the thought of getting evicted, that's terror, and that's. But you'll never look at it that because you'll think,
Yeah.
well, landlord's just a part of life, and they're legally. No, these people are fucking greedy motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Who exploit people, but no, that's American business, and that's the American way. Like, ugh, you know.
Yeah, no, definitely. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Completely agree with you. It fucking sucks.
There's a great song by the band Living Color from the 80s.
I like the
90s.
show.
Well, there was also
Sorry.
a band. There was also a band
Yeah.
called Living Color, and they have a song called Cult of Personality.
Yeah.
And it basically does talk about how Hitler, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all these other people, they're kind of under the same rubric. I mean, different ideologies, different thoughts, different
Yeah.
ways of handling business. But they were the personalities that you focus on to sort of like, you know, to go, well, we're going to do this now, and look at this guy saying that, you know,
Yeah.
and as opposed to going, maybe what we should be looking at is the ideas and the actions and not personalities. But it's so
Yeah.
easy.
That song was like an absolute. They should still be playing that on the radio. It's so.
Oh, it's
good.
a
Not
great
just the
song.
lyrics, but
That's a great song.
The melody and everything. It's like it's like such. A
It's an amazing song, absolutely. Yeah, and you know they're black rockers, right? Did you know that? Living Color?
No, I mean, I
It
would
was a
assume
black-
that because
it
you
was
said
a-
color, but.
Yeah, and they were a black rock group that I got to see live actually, and they were wonderful. You know, they had a lot of ideas. They didn't last long. I don't know why, but it was pretty radical. Like Corey Glover was the lead singer. I mean, and yeah. Something Reed was a guitarist, and you're like, those are four black guys rocking out. What the fuck? You know, we're so happy.
Well, I'm not. I don't know. I've never been surprised by stuff like that. Like,
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
Hendrix, you know.
yeah. So I've never been like, I don't know. But I get what you're saying. It's just so weird, man.
Prince, for that matter. You know.
Yeah, Prince.
Putting a lot of rock into it.
So that's what it sounded like. Like
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, no, you didn't see it
How
coming.
did it
You didn't see it coming, so I had to do it.
Yeah.
Do it. But no, I get you. It is. I don't know. I just,
All I was trying to say was that it's interesting that in the end, whether you agree with the ideologies or they're evil or bad, in the end, we're such animals that want to be led. That's another thing that puts freedom into question.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really want freedom, or do we just want someone to make? Do you take the reins and then I can, do my shit over
you know,
here?
I think that's part of it too. Yeah.
We all get so fucking full of ourselves. We want to be rich and rock stars, but most of us, I think, just want to go to work. We don't want to go to work, but we have to go to work. And once you're done, I just want to go home to a safe place, fucking have whatever, either fuck my girlfriend or fuck my boyfriend.
I want financial security. That's why like financial security for the rest of my life, and I'll be the happiest guy. I'll never complain about anything. Seriously,
We're doing a podcast, but
That's
that's
right.
Zach Rhinier, a very funny comic, I guess. What's funny mean? But no, do you really want financial security though? Think about that. Wouldn't you work harder then, knowing what's really in front of you, or do you go, I'm not saying specifically to you now.
This is dumb for you.
If I get a value meal at McDonald's, and then I add on a shake, then I feel like I've spent too much. But if I don't, and I'm like, at this age, I wish I could just buy the shake and not think about it. That's what I'm
I just live life like that. Yeah.
One of my fantasies of financial security is always having cab fare for either to go anywhere or to have someone come over. If someone's going like, it's going to cost me, go, I got it. To me, that is.
I was just talking about. I would
Yeah.
love to take cabs everywhere. All the
Yeah,
time.
absolutely.
I would love to do.
I wouldn't even want a fucking limo or a car because then you got to park that
The
thing.
cabs are all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
You just go, okay,
absolutely.
responsibility, go away now. You know what a
Especially
weird.
doing comedy, not have to think about paying for a cab.
Yeah.
Just go, like, even just the mics, like cabs. That'd be amazing.
You spend money on cabs for mics?
Oh no.
Okay, cool. Because I couldn't
But
even
if you could,
articulate
if you
that.
could,
I couldn't
you
just-
know.
No.
Yeah. What?
Really?
If I can afford it, but I mean, obviously, that would mean all my other needs are taken care of too. And then one of the extras is I can do a cab to do anything.
Well, okay.
I have a weird one. It's not that weird, but it's like so personal. I always want a cart of every drink that I want. Just always there.
That's all.
Fresh brewed coffee, fresh squeezed orange juice, any kind of diet soda I fucking want. And then a special section, because I don't drink, but if you were my friend and you want to drink, we got it.
That's just there.
It's just a
count the
cart
cards.
that follows me that I can call at any moment and go, what do you want? You want pomegranate juice? I got it.
I got it.
Because I feel like so many times in my life, I want pomegranate juice, but I can't
Just
afford
can't
it.
afford
because
it.
it's
When
$5
I
fucking
get
dollars.
good fresh squeezed orange juice at a diner or some restaurant, I taste them like this. Regular orange juice from concentrate doesn't even taste like
Yeah,
real
no,
like,
it's a different
I
reality.
don't see a comparison between the two. It's
Yeah.
like two different drinks. And the concentrated one, even though it has orange juice, be called something different. I don't even consider it orange juice after I have fresh squeezed orange juice.
I don't want you to be offended, but I love orange juice, but Sunny Delight's pretty awesome too.
That's something to like.
Well, so is Gatorade.
Like there is something about living in a culture where you go, yeah, I'm okay with artificial shit.
Yeah.
It's
It's nice,
I don't
delicious.
need.
All right.
I don't need a fresh hamburger. I'll take McDonald's Big Mac. You know? Like it's like if you have like really hot, like really well made French fries, it's over the top. But McDonald's French fries are also awesome.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's one of my.
That's
do,
freedom.
Do you have another financial, like, sort of weird little fantasy? You go, I'd love to be able to travel and never sweat it. Never sweat it. Fucking $200 in New York to get a hotel room a night.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane
I'd
to
like to
me.
be able to walk by a steakhouse in New York and buy a steak and eat it. That'd
And
be great.
not
I
sweat
could
it.
never do that now.
And not
That would be
sweat it.
a huge, enormous factor in my life when I did that.
Yeah, and not sweat it.
Yeah,
exactly.
that'd be great.
I always pay for movies for my friends. You go, fuck you, what? You're worried about? I've done that. That's one
Yeah.
I've done. I go, you can't afford the movie? I got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like $13 goddamn dollars, you know.
Yeah.
Does that even seem to you? Because you're younger than both of you. Does that seem crazy, or have you accepted? No, movies cost $13.
No, I used to live in Ohio for like 4 years, and I know they used to have matinees where it was like $8, and go to a movie is like $4. Like I don't. It's ridiculous now that it's expensive.
Yeah, anything over 10, I can't do. That's the way I feel.
I am.
I think 8 is fine. 8's great.
Yeah,
it is
that's
good.
that's
It is
within
good.
reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, someone made a good point. I think it was Joe Bob Briggs. He was kind of a parody movie critic, and he was talking about how okay, you go see whatever, Armageddon, and you pay, $13 for Armageddon, you're going to get $13 a movie. Whether it's good or not, it doesn't matter. But then you see some independent film that was made for $12, and they're still charging
The same
full
amount,
price.
yeah.
You go, no, shouldn't it, we could measure it to the money you fucking, spent making it and stuff? And I was like, I never thought about that.
Oh, wow. I never thought about that either. That's crazy. That's
it's
true.
like, your movie costs $100,000. Okay, I'll give you $5.
Yeah.
Which isn't that what's happening now with things like Kickstarter and pay, like Louis C.K. going pay what you want kind of stuff? Oh, no, he does. He does that. He'll do $5, but there's people who will put their album out and go pay what you want.
Pay what you want. Pay
Yeah.
what you think it deserves.
And so I think that's interesting. That's what I love about the internet. It is changing our attitudes towards what we can pay for. Everything from I will steal it if I can.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll watch a movie on a bootleg, website. I don't give a fuck. I don't. You took so much money from me, and often you took money from me for shit. Like I remember when people talk about like Britney Spears would charge $14 for an album, one good song, and the rest of it is shit. But you pay $14. That's changing. You go, no, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. I agree with that.
We may not be able to make as much money as we used to, but you go, but fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay $14 for a garbage album that I had no choice of.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I agree with everything you said. I wish I didn't, so I had something to say, but I definitely...
I don't understand how people, and this probably shows how scummy my head can be, like where they go, no, I will always pay full price. I'm like, why?
Because they have the money to do that.
Maybe.
They have the money to do that.
It's such a...
There's definitely certain musicians where I get them off iTunes and things like that. I'll pay for the music.
Yeah.
Just on principle,
because you
yeah,
love them, or you feel like it's just that's
There's-
the right thing to do?
Just with, I don't really download a lot of music, but with like Guns N' Roses, I always buy them.
Right. That's so funny. You love them so
Oh,
much.
I always buy.
You're worried about Axl.
I'm very conservative. Very conservative.
You're worried if Slash can get a new hat. That's awesome. Are there artists that you love now that you don't feel that kind of passion?
I don't listen to that much new stuff, really. It's
Really?
usually-
Are you that guy? Who's the last band that you liked?
Some.
New band.
Actually, no new bands. No new bands.
No new
I like some of the pop music and things like that.
Sure. I don't know why that always makes me laugh. I mean, I'm reaching that age now where I can't listen to any
I actually
music.
like the, like Rihanna.
Yeah.
'Cause it's like when someone puts out hit after hit after hit after
Yeah.
hit, you have to give them credit.
Respect,
It's not
absolutely.
your kind of music.
Yeah.
Like one hit after another was with her. Like
I
that's
had to give that
ridiculous,
to Justin Timberlake, a guy I did not
Yeah,
want to like ever.
he's
I
fucking
agree with
amazing,
that.
though.
I agree with
did
that.
not
yeah.
want to
GT is
like him,
awesome.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you go,
Yeah.
fucking, you're good.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
You're good.
Oh, I'm funny. I'm SNL and I'm funny. I'm a movie star.
He's
now.
talented.
I make
He's
you're like,
part of the
fuck
Mickey
you.
Mouse Club. He's awesome.
You.
Just hating on talent.
Well, because you know what? It reminds me of a joke I wrote about. I told you this. I may have said this in the podcast already. It was Bo Jackson. Didn't he have a rap album? Was a baseball player? All this shit.
I didn't know he was a rapper, but that probably makes sense.
Well, maybe he's
Bo,
not the guy I'm
for
looking
sure.
at. You know that there's these athletes who will do,
Yeah,
do
Bo
all
Jackson
this
was
cool
he
shit.
played baseball and football. Yeah.
And the joke was, why did these like black guys like do all this cool shit? And then I go, oh, it's because the average life expectancy was 30. So yeah, you get that shit out. You go, I'm gonna do everything I can because I'm dead at 30.
Yeah, I still can't believe Iverson used to play football.
Who?
Allen Iverson.
Really?
I think
Iverson?
he played in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah, not pro.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute,
Just
he would get
thinking-
destroyed.
Deion Sanders. That's who I'm thinking about. Deion Sanders.
Deion,
He's
yeah.
a rapper. He's a football player. Did he play baseball?
Deion. Did
Deion
Deion play?
Sanders.
Do you know if Deion Sanders played baseball?
I was just so jealous.
I thought he did maybe.
I was just-
Okay, so
I
yeah,
thought he was one of
probably
those
did.
guys that played too.
I was just so jealous of these black dudes. I said, well, you're already black. That gets you something. Every fucking chick that I went to school, I love a black guy. Like, and you're going to be a rapper?
Yeah, you
and
take
an
everything, man.
athlete? No! Thank God I'm over there. No, I'm
Well,
not.
it takes
I'm not.
it takes so much skill to get to the college or pro level in any sport. Like anyone can play too.
Yeah.
that's mind blowing.
Yeah, and compete
Unthinkable.
professionally.
Yeah, yeah.
Compete
that's crazy.
professionally. I say this like as a Latino, like I have been resentful of black people in that from this sense is that you're a culture that does get attention, whether it's negative or
Oh no, yeah,
positive.
we do. Yeah.
Like your issues are out in the forefront. I've literally
Yeah, I know
seen
exactly
magazines and shows where you go, what does it mean to be black?
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you'll have people debate, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Latinos never get that. We
Yeah.
never really get that on a big mainstream thing. Asians, they don't get it. Like a lot of Indians, they haven't. like black people are the only like people of color group that does get an extraordinary amount of attention. So while you guys feel that you're still being treated shitty, and I agree, at least your issues are out there.
attention.
You know, I mean, you have heroes that get celebrated like Martin Luther King.
This is my thing. I always think like no racial.
What?
No racial when I say this, but I feel like black Americans are like the coolest.
I
So
get that.
that's
Yeah,
why
of
the
course
tension.
I
I think
get
that's
that.
why the tension's there because like
No, I get that.
Yeah. So I hate that that's the thing. I hate that it has to be the thing.
Because you're a culture that got marginalized and literally fucking killed and imprisoned, you work that much harder to break through, and then that's the quality that your art and your heroes have. You know, it's people who we had to work hard to get this, so we had to shine that much fucking harder, and that's what
you know what's funny? George Carlin, he has an album from the '70s. He was talking about growing up in he's like, we called it White Harlem. His real name was Morningside Heights.
Yeah.
And he was saying that the white guys from his neighborhood would try copy the black, and he was talking about like the 50s or like 40s. I'm like, they even did it back. I thought that was like a modern thing.
Oh no,
It's like,
no,
they did it back then.
Jazz
That was a really good
Elvis,
bit.
Beatles.
Jazz was, people would go to Harlem to go listen to jazz because it was more interesting, more exciting, you know. And of course, what's funny is, of course, there's plenty of black people and Latinos who want to be white like a motherfucker. But is that your point you wanted to make on that, or?
I just made me think of the Carlin bit.
Yeah.
You always want to be
I
what
know it
you're
was like an
not.
old school thing too. I just thought that was like when hip hop came out. That's when we started trying to copy.
You know what that makes me think of? When black people will yell at a black person or other people for being college educated or being what they call them bougie.
Oh yeah, those niggas.
Not always.
No, they're niggas. I've never heard well-educated black person go, look at this guy trying to be bougie. It's always a nigga that's like, you think you ain't black, nigga? You one of us?
No, man, I don't think bougie is a word that niggers would use. Wouldn't they just call them fake or bullshit or fuck you?
No, they go bougie and they fucking pat their head like that. Like they fucking...
Really?
Yes, I know that... I used to go to all-boys school in high school and I had to wear a uniform. So I fucking dressed really fucking sharp. I wanted to just... And there was a dude that used to live in the same projects that I lived in. And I remember I was taking the train and like, we didn't say anything to each other. I was like, yo, what up? He was like, yo, what up? And we just kind of like stood there and he looked at me. And as soon as the train door opened up, he goes up to me. He goes, you know you still black though, right? And he walks up, the fuck you mean? Nigga, I'm not. I'm supposed to think I'm not. Oh, I'm fucking dressing nice now. I'm not black. No, it doesn't work like that. That's not how it's gonna work. The cop's gonna see me and I'm still gonna be black. Shit doesn't change. But that's a nigga. He was a nigga. He's being a nigger. And he was a fucking...
I think you're being
you ain't
harsh,
shit. I ain't
man.
shit. We both ain't shit.
Isn't it part of it that you go, I don't have access to what you can do? I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, because we came out of the same project. So this nigga could have did what I
No,
did.
but I mean, in terms of ability, in terms of being able to see beyond, your fucking environment.
That's the
you know?
thing. It's the same thing like with a white person that looks at, you're white trash too. I don't know
You know
what
what I
they
was
say.
gonna say? My school district, there was like rural, and then there was like upper middle. Like it was really spread out. The schools all kinds of different places.
Yeah.
And there was like preps. They were the ones you'd be called a prep, like if you dressed well or
Yeah,
you had
exactly.
money. And then the ones that didn't were scrubs. So it was like preps and scrubs.
Yeah, so yeah.
There will always be.
I remember one time this kid was like these dudes that were like longer hair and stuff, like walking by. He's like, oh, scrub it up, 3 scrubs in a ton. Like,
That's how you guys bully each other.
But it hurt though. As stupid as that sounds, that hurt, right?
Yeah.
That's like, don't call me that.
Oh no, it's
No, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, as stupid as that, you're like, I've been called a scrub.
My feelings.
Yeah, exactly. You're hurting.
Yeah.
Your butt hurt. Your butt hurt.
I would
I'm
love
sitting there
it.
like, can't we all just be white?
Let's harness the power of whiteness.
It's great when you think of it.
I'll kick his ass now. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, find him. Yeah, beat him up.
Yeah, listen, man, I've had a lot of Latinos criticize me because I had one guy, he was being charitable because he was putting me on this Latin show, and he goes, we'll put you on even though you're different. Like, why am I different?
Dumb,
I'm
yeah.
Latino. I speak Spanish. I grew up, if you want to say poverty-stricken, whatever, is that being Latino? Give me a fucking break. I come from Indians in Central America.
You know what it is? Like, stand-up especially is so diverse. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah, I love
so
it.
mixed. Like,
I
it's just
love that.
Like funny's just.
I wouldn't have met
It's proven show after show, like over and over and over again. You know.
I am a lazy, guy, and I'm shy. And if I didn't have stand-up, I wouldn't have met half the people I've met, half the nationalities I've met, gone to the places I've gone to do stand-up. And I love that I chose stand-up because it forces me to deal with different realities. You know?
Yeah.
Because I'm always gonna want stage time. If someone invites me to the Bronx, I'm going to the Bronx. If someone invites me to Staten Island to do stand-up, I'm going to Staten Island. Am I going to an ethnic, whatever, minority show? Okay, fuck it, if you pay or if you invite me. Or white shows for that matter, you know?
Yeah.
You know something like when like white comics does a black room, black comics does a white room. Black comics just be like so white, like so black, like the logo with that.
Yeah, I hate that.
You know what I don't like about that is that
Wait,
all the way back to the two all-time.
Can I ask you to go back because you were talking so low?
Just when you were like so white to an all black, or vice versa. It's like you go all the way back to like the two all-time legends, Carl and Pride. 60s, 70s, 80s, it's all been white, black, all the way through the decades.
Right.
So I'm thinking like the audience is just like, you're a comic. I think it actually genuinely really doesn't matter. I'm not saying like you politically agree. I think it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, like even like early 60s, like Cosby was like one of the biggest stand-up comedians, and that was like 50 years ago. So you just don't even. It's funny to acknowledge it, I guess, but you don't even really just need to say it. It's so like
Hacking.
I actually want to hear what is your. Make it clear because I'm not getting it. What's the point you're trying to make?
My point is like if just say black comic goes up to an all white room, he's like so like opens like so in black or like does something like that. Like why even need to say that? 'Cause we all know like Richard Pryor.
There's like a woman going on stage.
And I'm not talking about even modern comedians, like all the way back to when like stand-up comedy, but except for like the very first ones like Bob Hope or something like Woody Allen or something. I mean that was like extremely long ago. But actually even like Dick Gregory, you know that's like 1950s. You don't need to even mention that like when you go up to do stand-up comedy. Like, we just know
we can see that.
It's historically diverse. Historically, not going back to the 80s, like 70s, 60s, 50s. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes we want the only time we acknowledge something is when it's become successful. You go. Wait a second. There was plenty of comics of color and women who were doing it. It's just they didn't break through, so you don't acknowledge it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's interesting to look at history and go like, don't just look at the big story. Look at all the stories that were going. Again, Martin Luther King didn't come from nowhere.
Yeah.
There was a history of other black leaders and other people taking huge risks that he got to build on.
Yeah.
So, isn't it been said, Jackie Robinson, he was the first one to get acknowledged, but he also came from a place where, you know, they were considering other black athletes. He just happened to be the one that was the marquee guy, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, it's so easy to think so simple, that was the breakthrough. No, the breakthrough has a history.
Yeah, and he wasn't even the first black baseball player. It was some Moses dude, and he was known to be not that good of a baseball player.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, he was not good as a baseball player, and also his teammates would throw the ball at him. That was the thing that they would do.
What?
They would throw the baseball at him
To hurt him?
Yes, nigga, to make it happen. Yeah,
Okay, don't nigger me,
Sorry.
Don't you nigger me.
Yeah,
how dare you?
They threw it at him to cause pain to him, and they'll do it just even to ruin the game. They didn't even care, just because
Dude,
he was
he just so hated his.
Yeah, like, come on.
So
Go.
at least based on the movie that I saw, 42.
Yeah.
Like he was just Jackie was just the guy. Go, I'm not taking your shit.
Yeah.
And if you throw it at me, see what happens.
Yeah.
Not that he was gonna kick ass, but he goes, I'm not walking away from it.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be able to be that person and go like, I'm gonna do my thing, even though I'm gonna get shit on. Want to wrap it up?
Yeah, we gotta wrap it up.
All right, so. Zach Rhinier, thanks for coming in and talking. You got a Twitter you want to promote or anything like that coming up?
Wait, you were recording?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a podcast we were doing. But anyway.
Sorry, man.
No, it's perfectly fine. No, now you're on it.
Zach Rhinier on Twitter.
Okay.
There you go.
Go watch him. Very funny comic. Chris, you want to promote anything?
No,
Why do you not promote anything?
because I just want to be loved and not.
I just want to be loved.
I want to look at the other
You're
stuff.
not.
Yeah.
You won't.
I know.
Please follow me at Joseph B. Rocha on Twitter, and I'll be at the comic strip. And you get up at the comic strip, don't you? Yeah. So, all right. Thanks a lot. That was our podcast. Thank you. But how long did we go?
Suck my dick, eat the click. Good night.